How to survive end-time madness. The solution. In these challenging times, we often miss the root cause of what is transpiring. One of the main causes is our image of God. Is God a jealous, wrathful, genocidal God, the God of the Old Testament? Or is God all-loving, all-forgiving? The omnipresent creator within all creation, the wellspring of all that is, was, and yet to be. If you accept the image of the jealous, wrathful, genocidal God, then it is okay to emulate that image. If you accept the all-loving, all-forgiving God, the omnipresent cosmic birther of all that is, and lived according to universal law, which is God's law, the pain, suffering, and separation on earth would end. Advanced civilizations, some millions, even billions of years old, live according to universal law. They have transcended war, disease, poverty, and the universe is their playground. The images of God, accepted throughout the major religions, emulate one image or the other. Some a blend of both, created by actions of the little g gods of the past. Our true history of Earth shows there were very advanced off-world visitors. Some passed themselves off as gods. Some were benevolent in service to others, living according to universal law. Some were self-serving and ruled with a heavy hand. This is where the paradoxical images of God came from, yet who or what created them? In most ancient times, God was feminine, the birther of all life with all life as family. This is the closest image, yet limited. It eliminates the masculine. The father-mother God energies working in unison is closer to the truth. In truth, God is the absolute, the one consciousness that encompasses all consciousness on all planes and dimensions throughout the multiverse, the unified field in which we all exist and sustain our existence. What if we realized our true history, stopped emulating the jealous, wrathful, genocidal God, ended the separation and division game, became one people, one planet, and chose universal law? Universal law is basically universal peace, brother, sisterly love, individual freedom and prosperity for all. What if we chose love and forgiveness of self and others, released the past, dropped all individual and collective grudges? Imagine the quantum leap in evolution that would occur. What if we took the profit out of war and disease, hold the war and disease profiteers accountable, ended the Department of Offense, all interference in foreign affairs and deception which started these wars and focused on defense? What if, as a collective, we chose not to participate in actions outside of universal law and held our leaders accountable to actions outside of universal law? Mother Mary said, "Universal peace shall not come through governments and religions. It will come through the hearts and minds of the people." Below is an image of Mother Mary appearing at the ranch. We have to understand our past, our real history, and where we obtained our limited images of God. There never was a holy war. There were the little g gods, some in service to humanity and the earth, others in self-service with their ancient turf wars. There were kings and leaders wanting what another king or leader had, whipping their people into a frenzy, demonizing their enemies as ungodly. It has been the same historically with indigenous people. Branding them as ungodly allowed the genocide and taking of their land and resources. Knowledge of our past, forgiveness, and living according to universal law is the solution. Releasing the graven images of God, unifying as one people and one planet, the family of mankind will allow us to unite with the greater family of man throughout the multidimensional universe. We would have unlimited free energy, miraculous healing technology, replicators all on the planet today, yet withheld by those who wish to enslave others through dependency. We could transcend war, disease, poverty, and have the freedom to explore the universe. We cannot, however, take our aggression and conquering ways off-world. Why do you think the last transmission of the Voyager was to stay on your planet? We are being given a choice. Ascension, living in harmony with each other and nature, or the downward spiral of separation, greed, control at the expense of humanity and the earth. A path which eventually collapses and comes to an end. Everything is being revealed. The karma from acting outside of universal law is being accelerated. All of the wounds, traumas, wrong conclusions from past experiences are surfacing individually and collectively to be healed. We can take personal responsibility, go within, heal, forgive, ask for healing and guidance from the all-loving, all-forgiving God, as well as the beautiful many saints, sages, ascended masters. For those with open minds, spiritually and technologically advanced off-worlders, some history has revealed our ancient ancestors. Or we can hold on to our images of jealous, wrathful, punishing external gods, project and blame others on the endless merry-go-round, stuck on the karmic wheel, which isn't very merry. Both choices have outcomes. We do not, however, have the luxury of continuing business as usual. The planet is ascending. A massive influx of higher consciousness and energies are unstoppable. It is raising the frequencies of humanity and the earth. It is coming through the suns, all connected to the central sun, the origin of the awakening and healing energies. What some refer to as the house of the absolute, the real God, the source of the great awakening, the healing energies, and the anchoring in universal law. Your scientists are just now realizing this. The massive X-class flares and CMEs, coronal mass ejections and solar storms are creating chaos, which is part of the healing process. This influx of higher consciousness and energy is affecting the bioelectric fields of all life, humanity as well, creating changes right down to our DNA. They also create severe weather and an increase in earthquakes and volcanic activity. The Earth is expanding and evolving, which affects all life on Earth. We have to raise our frequencies to match Earth's ascension if we are going to continue on this journey. We are not just a body and a personality. We are multidimensional beings existing on a vibrational continuum. An eternal soul housed by a body and a personality, a socially engineered personality. To raise our frequencies, we need to release the past, the old wounds, traumas, and wrong conclusions from past experiences. Love, joy, and bliss are the highest frequencies. Service to the Creator within all creation, healing and releasing the past, is the path to ascension and freedom. Within the heart of hearts of all humanity is the spark that can become the full flame. God is within. The temple has always been within. Love, joy, and bliss are internal, not external. There is an omnipresent, loving, joyous, powerful, manifesting God or goddess within everyone. It never overpowers, it empowers others to live a loving, joyous, abundant life. It is where universal law is written, often buried by ignorance, social and religious programming. Images of external gods that favor one group or another are the source of the separation, division, conflicts, wars, and unjustness to humanity and the earth. What is unfolding on Earth are two factions. One wants extreme population reduction, absolute power and control. They are controlled by unseen negative influences some call satanic, Luciferian, reptilian, or degenerate ETS, along with their critical thinking, morally and integrity impaired human puppets. The other group wants universal peace, brother-sisterly love, individual freedom and prosperity for all. Then there is the gray area in between, being influenced and used positively or negatively to perpetuate one side or the other. Love is the ultimate power in the universe. It is the cosmic birther and glue that holds it all together. God is love, and love wins. The soulless will say, "No way," I say Yahweh. Yes, God and the masters have a sense of humor and are very forgiving. If they were not, we would all be toast. One last thing to ponder. Did you know the name of God is written in your DNA? Could that be why it is written we were all created in the same image and likeness of God? Could the one consciousness that encompasses all consciousness on all planes and dimensions be within us? Why do the enlightened ones refer to us as forgotten gods? A most blasphemous yet physically and spiritually true statement. If God is omnipresent, who are you warring with other than family in all its diversity? Can you really oppress and take from others without taking from yourself, not to mention the karma created from acting outside of universal law? Are you respectful concerning the Creator in all creation? If God is omnipresent, what is not God? If in the beginning was nothing, the void, what was everything created from? In summation, we have to realize where we got our images of God. Was it from the Hebrew gods? There were two, as reflected in the Old and New Testament. Was it from the ancient Anunnaki, the Sumerian gods, the Greek gods, Egyptian gods, or the ancient texts describing them? Who created them? And why is the reference to God often plural? It is time to play How Big Is Your God? Is it male or female? Is it jealous, wrathful, genocidal, a punishing God? Or is it all loving and all forgiving? Is it limited to earth, heaven, and hell? Or is it omnipresent on all planes and dimensions throughout the multiverses? Could there be a light and dark force in which we are given free will to choose? Were the biblical words, God is closer than the hair on your head, and heaven is all around you, accurate? Could heaven or hell be a choice in thought and action? Are God's laws written throughout the multiverse? Are there advanced civilizations billions of years old operating under universal law? We're about to find out. Real disclosure will come from the skies ending the 70-plus years of a false controlled narrative, along with the careers of those that perpetuated it. The truth of our ancient history, the origin of man and religion, the little G gods and the absolute will be revealed. If you read this, it already has. I am just the messenger to awaken what you already know within. Your soul is awakening. It is God's fail-safe mechanism, and the connection to the real God, the seat of which is in the heart, the place where real everlasting love, joy, bliss, acceptance, approval, unlimited forgiveness resides. It is absent of the social conditioning and engineering of the ego and personality. An awakened human to the God within is hard to control, and that is why the dark hearts are so hell-bent on stopping the ascension process. It is also why they are trying to keep the masses sick, poor, uneducated, using fear, guilt, unworthiness, and images of wrathful, punishing external gods to control them, including their latest attempts to block out the sun. Now is the time to rise. Stand firmly in your own divinity. Make your own personal connection with God/Creator/Great Spirit. Align with universal law and hold all of your leaders accountable to universal law. Universal peace, brother-sisterly love, individual freedom and prosperity for all is the solution. If your leadership does not adhere to universal law, they have no right to leadership. A Cherokee saying simply sums this up. If it isn't good for everyone, it isn't good. Impeccable integrity needs to become epidemic in ourselves and our leaders if we are to get through these challenging times. Universal law is coming. The earth is ascending and the higher dimensional beings are pressing in to assist this process. Negative timelines are collapsing. Time folds are occurring to help us get through these trying times. There are going to be times where we will just have to lay down and surrender to God within the awakening and healing process. Pure water, fresh air, natural food, free of harmful chemicals, right thinking, and right action will assist us in getting through the days to come. A little prayer, meditation, and initiating help from on high is also beneficial. Learn how to heal unseen negative influences. Spiritually shield yourself and loved ones. Support your leaders who are aligned with universal law, especially those cleaning up the damage left by the dark hearts. If you go to http://www.ekiti.org, the healing techniques are there. All of this information is there in books, videos, and workshops. http://www.exittv.org is also an excellent source for knowledge. Come join us for the Ambassador and Self-Mastery workshops. What better investment is there than an investment into raising one's consciousness? Your consciousness creates your tomorrow. Be well, James Gilliland.